Hello everyone, I am Meg Bhatia and welcome to Meg Study Point. So today I am going to start with chapter number 3, Atoms and Molecules of Class 9, Science. So in this chapter we are going to discuss about the atoms, how they are composed of, how they were discovered. So the first topic of this chapter is how atoms were discovered, how the term atom was coined. So atom was discovered by Democritus, who was a Greek scientist, and he coined this word atom, and he discovered that atom is the smallest part of the matter. Now, in previous units, we have already covered what is matter and how matter is there around us. In this unit, we are going to see that what is matter composed of. So, matter is constituted of atom. So, atom is the smallest unit of the matter, and atom word was coined by Democritus, and in Greek, atom means indivisible. Now, indivisible means that atom is the smallest part. It cannot be divided into the further simpler substances. Atom is the smallest unit of the matter. हमारे आसपास हमारे एनवायरनमेंट में जितनी भी चीज़ें हैं जो मैटर है कंस्टिट्यूट करता है, दैट इज ऑल कंपोज्ड ऑफ एटम. एटम जो है वो सबसे छोटी यूनिट होती है दैट इज प्रेजेंट इन अवर एनवायरनमेंट. नाउ next is elements. Now we have already discussed elements in previous units, but here I'm just going to give a brief view of what elements are. So elements are the pure substances which are only composed of one kind of atom. जब एक तरीके के atoms इकट्ठे हो जाते हैं and they make a bigger complex substance that is known as elements. But in elements we only have one kind of atom. We do not have different type of atom. Only one type of atom is known as only the group of one type of atoms is known as elements. Now, by the end of 18th century, Anton and Lavoisier started to notice that some elements could combine with each other and could show different chemical properties. So hence, by the late 18th century, Anton and Lavoisier and Joseph L. Proust derived laws of chemical combination, that how the elements could exhibit various properties and could combine with each and other. And these scientists gave two laws of chemical combination, that is, first is law of the conservation of the mass and the second is law of the constant proportion. Law of conservation of the mass stated that mass can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. दैट इज जब भी हम कोई भी केमिकल रिएक्शन कैरी आउट कर रहे हैं तो उसमें हम जितना प्रोडक्ट ले रहे हैं, जितने भी ग्राम्स का हम प्रोडक्ट ले रहे हैं, जब हमारा रिएक्टेंट फॉर्म होगा तो उसका भी मास जो है वो सेम ही रहने वाला है. मास कभी भी क्रिएट नहीं होगा या फिर डिस्ट्रॉय नहीं होगा केमिकल रिएक्शन में. फॉर्म चेंज हो सकता है बट जो मास रहेगा वो रिएक्टेंट्स और प्रोडक्ट का हमेशा सेम रहेगा. द सेकेंड लॉ वॉज law of the constant proportion. Law of constant proportion stated that in a chemical substance, the elements are always present in a definite proportion by mass. That is, जब भी हमने एक chemical substance लिया, that is formed by the chemical reaction, उसके अंदर elements हमेशा एक ही proportion में present होंगे with respect to their masses. For example, if I take water, the water has the chemical composition of H2O. And in water we have two elements that are hydrogen and oxygen, and no matter what is the source of the water, is hydrogen or oxygen का with respect to their masses proportion हमेशा 1:8 रहेगा. Whether we are taking the tap water, whether we are taking the rain water, whether we are taking with the sea water, in water the chemical composition will always remain same, that is 1:8 with respect to their masses. These laws were proved after carrying out a series of various experiments that was being carried out by Antoine L. Lavoisier and Joseph L. Proust, and we have two similar activities in our NCERT books, but I would be covering all the activities later on. Right now I'll only focusing on the theory part. Now, after Antoine L. Lavoisier and Joseph L. Proust derived those laws, a further confirmation was added to those laws by the British scientist John Dalton. He further proved the laws by giving the Dalton atomic theory. According to Dalton's atomic theory, all the matter in our environment, whether an element, compound or a mixture is composed of the small particles called atom. Now, uh, now डाल्टन की एटॉमिक थ्योरी हमें ये कहती है कि हमारे सराउंडिंग में जितना मैटर प्रेजेंट है, वेदर इट इज एन एलिमेंट आर दोज विच आर वन काइंड ऑफ substances, compounds are those which are chemically formed by combining two or more elements, and mixture are those compounds which contain n number of substances. So whatever it is, an element, compound or the mixture, they are composed of small particles called atoms. इन सारे मैटर्स की फॉर्म्स का, चाहे वो एलिमेंट हो, कंपाउंड हो या फिर मिक्सचर हो, जो स्मॉलेस्ट पॉइंट है, जो स्मॉलेस्ट पार्टिकल होता है, उसे हमेशा एटम ही कहा जाता है. बेसिकली एटम इज द बेसिकली atom is the basic structural unit of each and every matter particle that we see in our environment. Now, some postulates of Dalton atomic theory are: first, all matter is made of very tiny particles called atoms, which participate in chemical reaction. So this is a very basic thing, that the matter is made up of the atom, which are their smallest unit and their basic structural unit, and these atoms participate actively in the chemical reaction. So if any compound or if any element is participating in a chemical reaction, then all of its constituent atoms will also be a part of the same chemical reaction. Now, atoms are individual particles which cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. So the same rule that was applied on the mass also goes for the atom. That is, atom कभी भी chemical reaction में create नहीं हो सकता या फिर destroy नहीं हो सकता है. The number of atoms that we are taking in the reactant will always be equal to the number of atoms that we are taking on the product that we will be getting in the product. So atoms are always constant in a chemical reaction. Their form may get changed, but they will always be same in the number. So third is, atoms of given element are identical in the mass and chemical reaction. So as we studied earlier also, that element एक ही तरीके के एटम को कहा जाता है. एलिमेंट जो होता है उसके अंदर एक ही तरीके का सब्सटेंस होता है, इसीलिए उसके सारे एटम्स जो होते हैं बिल्कुल आइडेंटिकल होते हैं, whether in respect to their size or whether in respect to their chemical composition. And that is why जब कोई एलिमेंट एक केमिकल रिएक्शन पार्टिसिपेट कर रहा है, तो उसके सारे एटम एक ही तरीके से बिहेव करेंगे उस केमिकल रिएक्शन के अंदर, because they exhibit the same chemical composition. Postulate number 4 is atoms of different elements have different mass and different chemical properties. So this is the vice versa of the third postulate that we just read. In this postulate, we can see that different elements have different masses and chemical composition properties. So जब हम अलग अलग एलिमेंट्स की बात कर रहे हैं, तो उसके अंदर अलग तरीके के एटम्स हैं. दैट इज वाई वो एटम जो है एक दूसरे से अलग प्रॉपर्टीज शो करेंगे, अलग मास होगा सबका, और उनकी केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज भी सबसे अलग होगी. In fifth postulate, we can see that atoms combine in the ratio of the small whole number to form the compounds. So in compounds, when elements form, they have a ratio of each element to the other element, and this ratio is always in the form of small whole number. This ratio cannot be in fractional numbers or in the decimal number. This has to be in the whole number. For example, we just saw the example of water. In water, we have hydrogen and oxygen, and the simple ratio of water is 1:8. Similarly, in all the compounds, the elements always have the ratio of the small whole number. This cannot be in any other form. The next we have the related number and kinds of atom are constant in the compound. एक compound में जब भी elements combine करते हैं, तो उनका number और उनका atom, जिस भी तरीके के atom हम use कर रहे हैं, वो हमेशा constant रहते हैं. That is, अगर एक compound को form करने के लिए we have used 9 atoms of one element and 4 atoms of other elements. So this number is always going to be same. And जो atom का type होगा, like 9 atoms of A type atom and 8 elements of B type atom. So this A and B will always be same to form that compound. For example, अगर हमें water को form करना है, so we only need hydrogen and oxygen. We cannot take any other element rather than these two, and the composition should also be always same. the relative number of these, so the number of the atoms should also be in the same ratio. We cannot change the ratio of these atoms also, and we also cannot change the type of the element that we are using. Thank you so much. I hope you have understood these concepts. This was this was exercise 3.1 of chapter number 3. In next video, I would be starting with the exercise number 3.2 of the same chapter. Till then, you guys can practice the in-text given NCERT question and the back exercise question. The answers to that I will discuss in the last video of this chapter. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please like my video, please share it, and do comment and do tell me in the comment section if you like the video. Do subscribe my channel, and I'll upload the second part very soon. Till then, keep learning and stay safe. Thank you so much.